Hello my viewers and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button because you will find my videos interesting and intriguing. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up by tapping on the like button and be part of the commenters squad by sharing your thoughts and views in the comment section down below. With that said, I will come into a thought-provoking discussion on identity, ancestry, and the complexities of race. Now, two compelling perspectives have sparked a crucial conversation. A man emphasizes the indigenous roots of America, highlighting the rich history of Native Americans. However, some argue that indigenous Americans' Asian origins disqualify them from being real Americans. Now, he counters with the out of Africa theory, acknowledging human migration and diversification. For him, racial distinctions are meaningful, despite their imperfect scientific basis. Meanwhile, a sister presents a different narrative, connecting modern-day African and American communities to ancient Israelite roots. Now, she challenges conventional notions of African identity, citing examples like the Lemba people and Igbo communities who claim Israelite heritage. This raises essential questions, like what defines real American identity and how do ancestral origins shape our understanding of self? Can we reconcile scientific theories with cultural and spiritual connections? With that said, let's take a look at their different viewpoints. I will be right back, and when I do, we talk more about this.
The real Americans are indigenous Americans. And when I point this out, people are quick to say, well, you guys came from Asia, therefore you're not real Americans, you're not really indigenous. And I see their point, but by that logic, all human races are African, which doesn't even make sense because that defeats the purpose of race. Like, I believe in the out of Africa theory. I think our species evolved out of Africa. But race, and imperfect science as it is a little different. Like, obviously, I'm talking about all of humanity went out of Africa, and then we split into further divisions, and those people went to different continents and different areas of the continent and developed distinct traits from all the other groups. So the American race was something before Asians even existed. Those people went to America, and then they became what we are now. And I'm sure that was intermixing with Asians, you know, even when the land bridge was going on in the Bering Strait. But I digress, because the whole reason people say this is to justify colonization, as if, you know, all this biological trait stuff would even matter. If all humans were the same color, if we were all gray, it would still be wrong to pull up to another continent and colonize it because those people were living there first. You know what I mean? So, like, I get what they're trying to say. They're trying to disenfranchise our race in, like, defense, but it doesn't justify colonization at all.
The simple fact that this young lady in the original video made a distinction that she didn't want the man has African features. She prefers the features of those of us in America because our features are totally different, which proves that we are totally different people. Huh? Even people in modern day Africa are actually our people. And she's probably one of our people because I know the Kenyans, the Kikuyus, they're Israelites. There are people. Not everybody in Africa is an African. Some of you are our people over here. The Lemba people. These are my people. 10 of the tribes of Israel are in America. Only 2 of them were dispersed throughout the world. And that's you people in Africa who think that you're Africans and you're not. All the people who come from the Lembas are our people. The Igbos are also Israelites. You're not Africans. You are our people. And y'all were sent over there to modern day Africa in the slave trade because it was told in reverse. She recognizes her own people. Which tribe do I belong to in Africa? Don't you dare ever disrespect me, my ancestors, or my people again by calling me an African. The name, the title, the classification that was forced upon my people by the Caucasoids who came over here and colonized us. The same people that went over there to Africa and colonized you, your limbs in the Congo, apartheid in South Africa, stealing your resources, gave you this monstrosity and said it was going to save you. Like, please help me understand, what interest do your colonizers and enslavers, your oppressors have in saving you? What can they or are they willing to save you from? Common sense is not common, but I'm gonna need you to use this thing right here. Their only purpose is to do this. History, they're the ones that gave you that version of history that my people over here in America are from Africa, modern day Africa at that. Sadly, people who look like us are the only people on this earth who allow their enemies to come in and tell them who they are and give them their history, give them a God to worship that looks like them. The same people who are oppressing you and stealing from you. You are so gullible to believe them and listen to everything that they say. Like, their word is gospel. You hold on to everything that they say and they give you without questioning it. It's only people who look like us. So tell me, which tribe am I from? Huh? Those of you who love your oppressor's version of history so much, help me understand why the oldest mounds and pyramid sites are found in the United States. Huh? Thousands of years older than the ones in modern day Africa, or the place that they call Egypt. Okay, geniuses, here's another one. If modern day Egypt, which is in Giza, is the ancient Kemetic land, then please help me understand why Sudan's pyramids are far numerous and even older than the ones in Giza, the so-called ancient Egypt, huh? Also, please explain to me why those Arabs in modern day Egypt do not have a drop, not even an ounce of Egyptian DNA, but those of us in America who they call African Americans, we are the ones who actually have ancient Kemetic DNA. So if Africa was the motherland, and that's where all of us came from, then why is the ancient DNA in America? Huh? Please, help me understand. People with our hair textures and similar phenotypes were all over the earth. We are the original people of this earth. We were everywhere throughout the four corners of the earth before then people came down and started colonizing us and stealing everything from us and giving us a god to worship that looks like them. Prior to the Americas being colonized by the Anglo-Saxons, it was notated when explorers came here to the Americas that there were dark-complected people who were actually from Africa. They were immigrants from Africa, as you can see here, that were scattered throughout North and South America and cohabitated with some of the indigenous tribes. They described them as being immigrants from Africa, and they also described their skin complexion as being very dark. These dark-skinned Africans mixed with some of the native tribes here in America. This entity that's credited for slave trafficking us and sex trafficking us all the way through Europe and into Africa made notations himself that, number one, there was gold here, so we did have rich resources. And they even talked about the people in the Caribbean as being the Aboriginals and their dark-skinned people. Another thing I've shown millions of times, the true American Indian, the Aboriginal of America, has coarse black hair, brown and copper-colored skin complexion. This talks about our features, our facial features, for the reason why you commented on that video where the young African girl who said that she's part Ghanaian and Kenyan said that she doesn't want an African man that looks too African. She likes the American features far better. See, and they notated our features. They said that our nose was different, our whole face was different, our face structure was different. Our features were bold and free, and it distinguished us from other natives of other parts of the world. Not only are our features in America different from other natives all over the world, but our skulls are totally different as well. Wake up, stop regurgitating false history, and learn the truth about who everybody is.
Now, by the time the most advanced species of modern man, Homo sapiens, had evolved about 120,000 years ago, there is evidence of rapid population growth around the globe. So how did Homo sapiens spread? While it is generally accepted that the forerunner to Homo sapiens, Homo erectus, left Africa about 1.5 million years ago to populate other parts of the world, there are two main theories about the spread of Homo sapiens. One is the one that the man said. The first theory, known as the out of Africa model. Now, this one says that Homo sapiens developed first in Africa and then spread around the world between 100 and 200,000 years ago, superseding all other hominid species. Now, the implication of this argument is that all modern people are ultimately of African descent. The other theory, known as the multi-regional model, is that Homo sapiens evolved simultaneously in different parts of the world from original Homo erectus settlers. Now, this means that people in China descended from the Homo erectus population there, while Australians may have descended from the Homo erectus population in Southeast Asia. Now, both theories have their staunch defenders who cite DNA evidence, analysis of the genetic blueprint, passed down from generation to generation. To advance their case, out of Africa theorists, for example, say that most genetic variation in human populations is found in Africa, suggesting that humans have evolved there for the longest period. Now, although the debate is far from concluded, it is probably fair to say that the bulk of scientists support the out of Africa hypothesis and believe that all humans share a common origin. Now, according to research, Black Hebrew Israelites, also called Hebrew Israelites, Black Hebrews, Black Israelites, and African Hebrew Israelites, are a new religious movement claiming that African Americans are descendants of the ancient Israelites. Now, some subgroups believe that Native and Latin Americans are descendants of the Israelites as well. Black Hebrew Israelites combine elements of their teaching from a wide range of sources to varying degrees. Now, Black Hebrew Israelites incorporate certain aspects of the religious beliefs and practices of both Christianity and Judaism, though they have created their own interpretation of the Bible, and other influences include Freemasonry and New Thought, for example. Now, many choose to identify as Hebrew Israelites or Black Hebrews rather than Jews in order to indicate their claimed historic connections. Black Hebrew Israelites are not associated with the mainstream Jewish community, and they do not meet the criteria that are used to identify people as Jewish by the Jewish community. They are also outside the fold of mainstream Christianity. Black Hebrew Israelism is a non-homogeneous movement with a number of groups that have varying beliefs and practices. Now, various sects of Black Hebrew Israelism have been criticized by academics for their promotion of historical revisionism and replacement theology due to the lack of evidence supporting their claims. The Black Hebrew Israelite movement originated at the end of the 19th century when Frank Cherry and William Saunders Crowdy both claimed to have received visions that African Americans are descendants of the Hebrews in the Bible. Now, Cherry established the Church of the Living God, the pillar ground of truth for all nations, in 1886, and Crowdy founded the Church of God and Saints of Christ in 1896. Subsequently, Black Hebrew groups were founded in the United States during the late 19th and early 20th centuries, from Kansas to New York City, by both African Americans and West Indian immigrants. Now, in the mid-1980s, the number of Black Hebrews in the United States was between 25 and 40,000. Some of the Black Hebrew Israelite sects are considered Black supremacist and anti-Semitic. Now, according to the Anti-Defamation League, some, but not all, Black Hebrew Israelites are outspoken anti-Semites and are to the cis. In 2017, the Southern Poverty Law Center listed the Black Hebrew Israelites as one of the Black nationalist groups of concern, along with the Nation of Islam and others. Now, the SPLC has also described the Black Hebrew Israelites as a hate group which supports racial segregation, Holocaust denial, H-phobia, and promotes a race war. And as of December 2019, it lists 144 Black Hebrew Israelite organizations as Black separatist hate groups because of their anti-Semitic and anti-palm color beliefs. Now, the SPLC has since clarified that they now use the term radical Hebrew Israelite to distinguish between extremist and non-extremist sects, and to acknowledge that some Hebrew Israelites are non-Black. Now, I want you, my viewers, to be the commenters of these videos. Share your thoughts, your views, your contributions, everything in the comment section, and let's have a conversation there. Do you agree with any of the two? Thank you for always watching, and see you in my next video as I bring you another interesting video.